They say love makes you soft, gentle, forgiving. But what they never tell you is how love can also sharpen the blade that finally cuts you open. My name is Claire Monroe, and this isn't a love story. It's the story of how I buried the man I once thought I couldn't live without. I wasn't always like this. I used to believe in people, in second chances, in love that stayed. I used to be the kind of woman who woke up smiling just because the person I loved was still breathing beside me. His name was Ethan Cross. The first time I saw him, it was snowing in Boston. He was standing at a food truck with this ridiculous red scarf around his neck, shivering like a child who didn't belong in the cold. He smiled at me as if we'd known each other forever. And in that single careless moment, my guard slipped. We built a life together over 7 years. 7 winters, 7 summers. We built a home, a business. Dreams that were supposed to last forever. But forever has an expiration date when lies are involved. It started small. Missed calls. Late nights. Empty explanations. You learn to lie to yourself before anyone else does. He's just tired. It's just work. It's nothing, but nothing has a way of growing teeth. One night, I was sitting in the living room with the fireplace crackling, and I saw his phone light up on the counter. A name I didn't recognize. A message I'll never forget. When she's gone, we can finally be free. The kind of sentence that takes your breath away, not because it's sweet, but because it rips everything out of you. I didn't cry. Not then. I just sat there, listening to the fire burn, realizing the man sitting next to me in bed every night was already somewhere else. The truth came slow, like bleeding out. Ethan had been cheating for over a year. Not just with someone else. With someone we both knew, Ava, my best friend since college. Every detail was a knife. The weekends he said he was on business trips, the messages, the photos, the money he'd been moving. But it wasn't just the cheating. It was the way he planned to leave me with nothing. He'd shifted everything in the company's name to himself. Every dollar, every share. While I was building our future, he was building his escape. People ask why I didn't scream. Because when your soul is breaking, silence is louder than rage. I didn't confront him. Not right away. Revenge isn't something you rush. It's something you prepare. I slowly backed out of my own life, on paper at least. Quietly transferred access to accounts. Gathered documents. Pulled every thread I could find until I held the whole rotten fabric in my hands, and when I vanished, he thought he'd finally won. For 3 months, I let him think I was broken. Staying with a friend, no calls, no legal moves. He moved Ava into our home. Drove my car. Wore my silence like a crown, but he forgot something. I built that empire, and I still had the keys to burn it to ash Ethan loved. Attention, cameras, interviews, investors, who believed every perfect word he said. So I gave him exactly what he craved. An invitation, signed, with his name, not mine. A business gala in New York. Investors, press, media, and the entire board. He walked into that ballroom like a king. What he didn't know was that every financial document, every illegal transfer, every hidden account I'd uncovered, was scheduled to leak publicly at 8:15 p.m. on the dot. While he was on stage. Smiling, the screens behind him didn't show his company presentation. They showed the truth. His lies, his theft. His betrayal, on loop. The silence that followed was the kind that breaks bones. Ethan's face turned pale. Cameras flashed. People whispered. His entire empire, the one he thought he stole from me, began to crumble right there under crystal chandeliers. I stood in the crowd. Black dress, calm, unshaken. He saw me through the sea of faces. And in that 1 second, I saw the man who once made me feel safe. Finally understand what it means to be powerless. The lawsuits came fast. The board expelled him. The investors pulled out. His accounts froze. His perfect little kingdom turned into dust. And Ava? She was gone before the night was over. Because snakes don't stay with a sinking ship. He tried to call me. Left voicemails, threatened, begged, screamed, but what could he say? That he was sorry? Sorry doesn't rebuild what he burned. The last time I saw Ethan Cross, he was walking out of a courthouse in handcuffs. I didn't say a word. I just turned and walked away. They say revenge doesn't fix anything. But they're wrong. It doesn't heal the wound. But it stops the bleeding. I rebuilt my life slowly, brick by brick. This time without him. And sometimes, on winter nights when the snow falls outside my window, I remember that girl who met him at the food truck. The girl who thought love was forever. She died the night I found that message. And in her place I was born. Love can turn into a weapon. And when it does, you better pray the person holding it isn't me.